right, everyone. It is 8:23. I'm sorry I'm a little late. I was having a few technical difficulties as a disclosure. Let's get to the morning call. All right. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to today's morning call. It's 8:23. It's October 14th. It is a Monday. Actually, the first Monday that we're not opening lower. I feel like every Monday we've come in, I'm always battling with positions, and I'm like, oh, God, this is kind of not fun. I don't know if it means, usually we pull in on the Monday, we absorb Monday, Tuesday, and then we go up later in the week. Does this mean we're going to peak out into Tuesday, Wednesday, like a lot of people are saying, hey, be careful, you have all these positions on? And I'm like, you know what, I kind of have them all on for a reason. I've had multiple positions on since pretty much really since September 11th. If you look here, that was that washout day. So here's a washout day. This was the day I think, kind of the active bulls took the ball back. And then we had this, move through the 565, and then I feel like for a week and a half, all I kept talking about, do we hold 565? Do we hold 565? Well, we held it, took out 574, hit 580, and this morning, SPYs are up another dollar. I do think at this point, like I haven't sold premium in a while. I was selling premium in here, if you remember, as like a hedge, and then I did get a little caught on this day selling the 572s, and then I got away from it. I'm like, I'm not doing this game where all I want to do is be long, and I'm trying to be cute with a hedge, and the hedge hurts me more than some longs. So I stopped doing it, and then into this, I'm like, you know what? If you look here at the virtual trading floor, I do have a lot of positions on, so I sold some 582s, and I'll be willing to, every dollar higher, sell two strikes higher just to like keep a hedge on, and if some things don't go on in my options and they start to decay, at least I would be making some money short the SPYs higher. So I shorted the 582s. So what I'm going to think about doing is like if the SPYs hit 581 and change, I'll go out to Wednesday and maybe short the 583s. And at this point, I shorted the 582s for a dollar, so it's as if I'm shorting the SPYs at 583, but I can't make a whole lot, but it's just a way to collect some premium while you're waiting for things to work out. And as you can see here, I have a bunch of things going on, and everything is kind of different. We could see 584. That's your target, Radha. All right, well, that's cool. If we see 584, I'll lose a little bit of my hedge, and that means I'm making a lot of money in a lot of my other stuff. So some things are like full position, some things are trailers, some things are feelers. They're all different. I need to have a lot going on to keep me engaged, otherwise I lose track of things. So real quickly through the sectors, you got the Qs that look pretty tight. The Qs have a nice setup this week. If the Qs can get above 494.45 and play some catch up, you would think tech would finally, do a bit better, because tech has not led the way to high. So while we're talking about the Qs, what would have to happen for this and what could act better? Google, I have not really been focused on whatsoever. And my little Google antenna has been going up a little bit, saying, hey, it's kind of tight here. You have an inverted head and shoulders pattern. So, I'm long some Google, so I could watch if it gets above 165. There's really, not a whole lot to 169. So I'm in some options and I'm in some stock, so we'll see. Apple, I'm also in. I didn't get stopped out. It's not leading the way. It's not awesome. It's a pain in the butt, actually. But, this morning I didn't get stopped out. It was kind of weaker on Friday, and it held 227, so I stayed with it. It's up $1.30 this morning. So I trimmed a little bit, and I'll hold some. If it could get above 230 and show some volume, hey, maybe I'll even get bigger than I was overnight. Microsoft also isn't great, but there's some things to do that are calculated, as long as it's calculated. You have an inside range here. The first trade was when they bought the downgrades. Finally, they downgraded it, and then it came up here, and now we'll see, if it tries to get better. Last time it had a secret move. It kind of went all the way to 441, and now we'll see what happens here. This was 428. This I don't have the stock on. I just have some options, and we'll see how it goes. Meta is still best in breed. Some guys were buying into this 581 area. I did not. It's got a nice little bull flag. First thing it's got to do is get above kind of like 597, and then you have 603. So if you think that this is all of a sudden going to be 605, 610, there's two spots, 597, 603. Where is it now? It is it's up forward 593. So I'm probably not going to be buying it, but I'll watch it. If it goes, it'll just show some nice health. Tesla, we lost on the options. I went with two, call spreads, lotto spreads, and didn't work. Funny thing was is I celebrate the holiday. I am Jewish, and I was at temple on Friday. I had 7, 8 couples in my house for breakfast, all cool guys that friends with for a long time, and they're all like, "Oh my God, like, did you watch the Elon event?" I'm like, "Of course I watched the Elon event." Like, "Well, what do you think of Tesla?" I'm like, if you don't trade for a living, you could probably buy it, and chances are Elon's going to deliver on all the things he says he's going to deliver, and he's the first one there, and he does it better than everyone. Where we saw with the rockets, they're like, I'm buying it. I'm like, okay. And then one of them was like, well, are you going to buy it for Chase? I'm like, you know what? He has his, since remember in 2020, he put together his Robinhood account and bought Apple, and I think half of it's in cash. I'm going to put the other half in Tesla here, just because he's not going to watch it or care about it. But I do think you could be long versus 214.40, and as a trade for us, if it gets above 223, maybe it tries to fill this gap. You have some room. I actually made some money in Tesla just putting a bid in at 215, and I was so busy on Friday that it made money. But either which way, if it fills this gap fast, meaning like today, tomorrow, chances are it repairs and it might not be as bad. If it can't fill this gap and it goes from up 260 to red today, chances are I'm not going to be trading it much this week. Netflix is still kind of a pain in the butt. Made a new high, closed in the lows, it's up a little bit. If you're going to be in this, you have to just give it a ton of room, and to me, it's just not worth it. There's better things to trade, unless you're just letting it work out for you, which it is working out. It is at all-time highs there. Amazon hit a high of 189.93. Amazon's like my nemesis. Unfortunately, I think I sold my options to to salvage them, and then that happened. So now, if you bought it when it cleared 183.45, just you can put your stop in at 185 now. Moving along, the IWMs kind of woke up on Friday, not Thursday. So we'll see if this is good enough now to have it go for a move back towards highs. It really hasn't done a whole lot since July. I'm not going to be very active there. I did buy XBI more. I actually bought back the options that I sold. I'm short a little bit, and I'm much more long the 103s for December, which kept me within. If I would have done last Friday, who knows what I would have done. But I bought some, for December. You could see it here. Where's the call spread for XBI? The 103s for November 15th. Okay, so I have a month. Could happen. Anyway, they were up nicely on Friday. I did not sell any of them, and we'll see what happens today. I think there's a bunch of mergers everyone's talking about. I'm not in any of them. Red Dog doesn't get mergers. I'm a nuts and bolts friggin' grinder. But anyway, what's this? Oh, okay. So anyway, so we'll see if that gets better. XLF led the way to highs. I have not been playing the banks. I'm not going to make believe like I have been. I watch them for the spies and for the sectors and all that kind of stuff, but I have not, done a good job in the banks. They've been hard. Like J.P. Morgan looked like it had this break here. It was kind of broken, and now it's all of a sudden, seems like it's going to be ready for highs. I'm not trading it, but if you are, okay, that's cool. There's only so many things you could trade. Goldman Sachs reports tomorrow. Nice channel here. Last time I put the chart in for those who were asking me, it was right there, and now you had a nice move, so maybe you made some money in J.P. Morgan. Guys are talking about SoFi, I guess. That's the online bank. It's had a nice move, I guess. Yeah. So there's a lot of things working. For me, what's been working a lot has been the semis. I started to really get back engaged with NVIDIA ever since Jensen came out and said that the Blackwell, demand is off the charts or whatever, however he said it at that ACN thing. I've been in it since here. I've been in it pretty much the whole time. I even think I sold it here and bought it back, and I've been rolling up options. Question is, is it going to go straight to 140? Or is it going to pause at 140, or is it not going to get at 140? So chances are I will be trimming the shares today, and I'll probably stay with the options. I rolled up. I had the 125s did well, the 132s did well, and now I'm in 137s. So it's been leading the way. The semis themselves haven't been leading the way, but chances are, maybe there's a better move here in the SMHs. 257.30. If it gets above here, there's a gap to fill all the way up to 270 if it wants it, or higher, but we'll see. The only other semi that looks like it's ready for highs was Avago, and they had to shake the tree a little bit on Friday. For what reason, I have no idea. But anyway, you could be long now versus 177. It could rebuild and take out 186.42. I am still in MU. Not a whole lot of size, but it triggered back above 103. And it looks like it's working higher. I'm going to trim some today, stay with some, see how that goes. There's a lot of semis going on. ARM looks like it's on its way to 157, slow and steady. Some guys are saying for me to check out LRCX. I guess you could say, some of the like the semis have not been where demand is insane. That's what he said. The place to be. So it's all individual. I've been talking a lot about crypto and not like a friggin' crypto crazy head. Not saying you have to be a crazy head to be a crypto, but I'm 52 years old. But anyway, I do think that Bitcoin, usually historically, the run happens between now and Thanksgiving, and I've been kind of waiting for it. And I almost got stopped out. Thank goodness I'm getting better in my older age, staying with things. Anyway, Bitcoin kind of did this little washout at 60,000, came back up, still just in this channel. So if you're worn out from this channel, go take an ice plunge or something, because you need to get your arse back in gear, because this could continue. And when it goes, it could be like a China type move that doesn't let anybody in. You look here at the weekly chart of Bitcoin, and it's like, wow, pretty damn tight. So if it wants to get above here, there's this whole void just to 73,000, and then it's got and then you have the breakout. So make sure you're not worn out. I'm trying to not be worn out. I didn't get started. I put this on as a power play, and I remember on this day, Mike's like, "Do you want to stop out of Bitcoin IBIT on the power plays?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "We're accumulating this. You're going to accumulate it, and then when it goes, we're going to add the last time when it looks really good." And anyway, I did that. I added on Friday, and I just started trimming some. There's a gap to get filled in 37.24, 37.50. And then you have this whole thing. So in my head, I'm like, okay, as you can see, real quickly on the alpha team, I've already trimmed a bunch of the IBIT this morning. If you look here, where is it? I probably trimmed it 3-4 times. In my head, I'm thinking, what do I stay with? Because I don't want to get too small. Sometimes you trim and trail your way out of a really good position. I'm like, I got to make sure I'm in a certain amount that when it does pull back, I'm ready to buy more versus losing too much in it. So in my head, I think you have to have in your head, what do you want to stay with, for a move maybe back up to 39 to 41, and what do you need to manage along the way. All I know is I remember when I trimmed a lot into here, I started buying back too fast, and I was getting hurt, and it was so hard. So in my head, I'm like, I got to have a certain amount, and make sure I stay with this, because I want to make money. I want to make a lot of money if it happens, because Red Dog needs to pay some bills. So do all of you, right? From what I'm learning from my two friends that I trade with now that are a lot bigger, like in your high conviction plays, you better be big. These guys made so much damn money in Dash. This was their play. It wasn't my play, but I was pretty decent size from here. That was a big move. They were buying the cajones out of this thing here. If you look at the alpha team, I think you guys had to have done pretty well too, considering I'm in the stock and I was in options for, where is it, for this week? Where's Dash? For the 155 for this week, and then also, where's the other Dash? Did I get it? No, this is the 146s for this week, and this was for earnings. So 3 different ways. If I'm in Dash or something 3 different ways, especially when I'm in the actual stock, you guys should be able to make some good money there. What is cajones? Come on, Red Storm. Anyway, so at this point I got a little smaller. I'll get a little smaller, and you look at the weekly chart, and this still looks like it has a lot of room. This was one of the new issues that came out, post-pandemic when nothing was really coming out. This and Reddit, the other one. Goldman, what the hell's the matter with Goldman? Goldman came out and raised Reddit to a neutral. What the hell does that do? Anyway, I like this. We started getting back involved. I sold some into here, bought some back. I'm staying with it. I think this is going to be 85 or higher in the next 3 to 6 months. So it looks pretty good. Going back to crypto real quick, IBIT. So we'll see. Thank goodness for CORZ. Remember when my friends were like, hey, this is the best miner. I'm like, what? Technically it looks like the best miner too. And PS, you had a first move, and then guys were belly aching about how it was trading in here. But meanwhile, it wound up having another move, and hopefully, you guys made some money here. I made some really good money here. I trimmed a little bit this morning, up 30 cents. It's only up 18 cents. It's come a long way. Um, I did on Friday, just in case, if crypto has a big move, I bought some Mara calls. These are really broken. They're not where the money is. Crypto's gonna have a really big move in order for these to squeeze. But I figured, hey, I'm not chasing it. I might as well buy some here. So I did, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if this is a big enough day one. It's up 77 cents, only at 16.85. So it's only right here to give you, do we get like a gap and go with real volume to buy, or, is it just, not much? CLSK, same thing. Gave you one little day. Does it take out this 1050 with authority or not? Because it can get to 12 and change if it wants. If it wants. Obviously, Mr. led the way. Like, holy cow, look at that move. I am not in Mr. and a lot of my friends were in options, and they were buying, the 180s here, and they crushed it. And it's probably up a bunch today, right? Let's see what's Mr. doing with up another 11. So at this point, I would trim some. Just try not to short this thing. That's why it's moving better than Bitcoin, because of the amount of shorts that are in there. But anyway, Square. I like Square. I do think Square doesn't trade great. It's pretty choppy, but it gives you a day, gives you an inside day, gives you a day. So if that's the case, this should be taking out 71 today. And we'll see if you could add there. DJT launched Truth TV. I think that's happened already, but okay. There is some news out there that that it seems like the Donald is doing better in the polls. And some of these betting sites actually have it too, and they're pretty accurate. But anyway, I'm not going to talk politics. We'll see how that goes. Oracle, I missed that one. I've been making the chart for you guys, and the chart's been going well and looks pretty good. And can't be in everything. We did buy UPST on Friday. That was awesome. Probably one of my better trades in a while, where I just went with it and I went with options and it just triggered and went. 49 is a spot, and then 72 is a spot. You look at the weekly chart. It gives you a better bird's eye view that this thing maybe goes to 72 over time if the market stays strong. Some guys went with AFRM, some guys went both. I just went with this one. Anyway, it was pretty good. We'll see how it continues. I'll probably trim and trail it, but overall, this started the bull run very early over here. AFRM. This gap really never got filled also, and big candle. It has some room to 52-ish. So same way UPSC is 49, this is 52. You can go to your weekly chart here too. Nice. Yeah, there's a lot it could do here if it wants to. Some of these small caps, etc. Anyway, with that being said, some of the Chinese names aren't working. There was a big stimulus program that went out, and I guess wasn't enough. So if you were playing things to fill this gap, it's not happening yet. Some of us bought this TIGR. I'm just going to sit in the options, and if China gets better, maybe with the way the U.S. financials are trading, this is like a fintech in China, but we'll see. As far as this, some of these, again, my friends are telling me it's going to be a fraud report, SEC action, be a zero. Whatever you do, do not buy this thing. I don't think you need to short it like I did, because sometimes you feel like you're out of control, and it gets to me also. But I would not be buying that. These guys had this IZM that was shorted the hell out of everyone, and then that happened. They had this BYU. It's come above, but then supposedly the same investors in this one. That's why I'm there. Otherwise, I would not be doing this. And sometimes, if it's not worth it anyway. And this little penny one, RNAZ. Some people think there's some big news coming out soon. So it's like an option play. Like if you look at the weekly chart, this thing was like 750, 1,000, 1,250, because of all the splits and whatever the hell it was back in the day. So at 70 cents, I'm not worried about it. Just don't bet your month on it. What else? Oh, GEV, like these. So these, like, this still looks good. Todd and Matty D's been all over this. I think I gave you guys a really good level in this VST. I was like, I bought on Friday at 118. I should have stuck with it. Wow, what a move. It held 115 and now it's up here. It's got upgraded. I would trim some of that. I've been accumulating a little bit of the CCJ. Just have a little bit of like some uranium plays on. Woke up a little bit. It's not a fast mover. Just again, you need to have some kind of exposure. So that's why I'm in a lot of these little things. Some things I'm, in more of, some things I'm not. I'm trying to stay with some things, and I'm just trying to milk this and make money. Maybe I'll taper down a little bit today, some runners, just so it doesn't look like I'm in so much stuff. But I'm only going to do it if that makes sense. You don't have to be in so many things. Be in what you want. And even like Oxy, it was a money play, but I got down to 20% of it. So holding 20% of this, it's not even a thought. I'm just, it's for December. Some things I have a little leftovers, and it's not even a thought on my head. It just, it's just the trade hasn't changed, but I'm just staying with it. But either way, it's 8:44. I got to jump. I'll be back on in a little bit. Make sure to manage your things. Don't get too caught up, and we'll see what this week shakes out. Again, a lot of people are talking about 583, 584 as a measured move for the SPYs, and we hit 580.33, and it's not too far away. So if it were to get up here, it would be pretty extended. It depends on how it happens. Retail sales are until Thursday, so it's not a whole lot. Tomorrow's Goldman Sachs and I think Citigroup, and then Thursday's Netflix. So we'll see how it all shakes out. Good luck, guys.